Welcome back to Ben's Top 11. And when I was a kid, children weren't too lazy to play with toys. Folks, when you think of stupid people, who do you think of? Not bad. Who else do you think of? Getting better. Alright, the coup de grace. Who is the stupidest person you can think of? Oh, haha, very funny. Haha, it is to laugh. Anyway, do you want to know who I think of? I think of my worst enemies, the Soccermoms. Let's face it, these dumb parents have been a part of some of the dumbest things to ever happen when it comes to the entertainment industry, and they're the ones who always whine and complain and make our TV shows and movies suffer. So, I'm going to count down the top 11 moments that I believe were the dumbest things for soccer moms to complain about. So, get ready to feel like you're Einstein by comparison. Here is my top 11 dumbest soccer mom moments. Number 11, the Beatles' Bigger Than Jesus controversy. Alright, so in the mid-60s, the Beatles were at the height of their popularity. When asked about what they thought about their popularity, John Lennon remarked that the Beatles were bigger than Jesus himself. I think that's a fair comparison. I mean, the Beatles were huge, and are still huge today. So, I'm sure there are Christian people out there that are going to react to this in a responsible manner. They didn't. This remark caused an outrage in America, and it led to people burning all of their Beatles stuff. It got to the point where radio DJs went on the air to encourage people to burn their Beatles stuff. Jeez! What the heck is this all about? Okay, so here's the rebuttal by the crowds. They claimed what John meant by his quote was that the Beatles were more important than Jesus. No, you morons. That's not what he meant. He didn't say they were more powerful than Jesus. He just compared their popularity to Jesus to show how popular they were. Plus, there's a reason John was called the funny one, because he was just joking, you nimrods. In fact, after the whole situation, John Lennon publicly apologized, saying that he meant no harm by his comment, and that he himself isn't against religion and respects anybody who follows religion. There! See? He reacted in a respectable manner, so why couldn't the people in the 60s? What makes me laugh about this is the idea of people would burn stuff they actually paid money for just to burn it. Yeah! I spent my life savings on all this stuff only to burn it! Screw the Beatles! Praise Jesus! So, if you think this is a dumb moment, keep in mind this is only the first on the list. Number 10. Parents' reactions to Disney's The Princess and the Frog. Alright, so The Princess and the Frog is released to theaters in 2009. I saw it twice because I loved it so gosh dang much, and I wanted to see what other people thought about it. So, I went online to read other people's reviews, and my jaw dropped all the way to China from what I read. There were reviews by some parents who were saying that the movie should get a PG rating due to, get this, the presence of voodoo in the movie. In fact, I think I read one review where one parent wanted to give it an R rating. Really? Really? Okay, so you wanted the film to have a rating other than G just because there's voodoo in it? Yeah, that's the only reason they gave. You frickin' idiots. The only reason there's voodoo in it is because one of the characters, Dr. Facilier, is a witch doctor, and he's the villain! It's not like the movie is promoting voodoo, because it's not. It's just that the villain of the movie uses it. My God, parents are stupid. I never heard any parent complain about the religious themes in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or about children smoking in Pinocchio. I mean, come on! Granted, I don't want them to complain about Disney movies, but how the heck did they get past all the other ones just to get to Princess and the Frog? I just don't understand people! Number 9. Michelangelo getting his nunchucks taken away in the 80s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. This is one that really doesn't apply to me because I didn't grow up with this cartoon, but it still ticks me off. Okay, so the 80s TMNT cartoon was a huge hit among little kids, as it was about overgrown turtles kicking bad guy Heine. However, with it becoming popular, it then became a target of parents. Parents complained that Mikey's nunchucks were too violent and imitatable, so he got them taken away. Wait 1 second! Let me run down the weapons of these turtles. Leo has 2 swords, Raph has 2 sais, Donnie has a huge staff, and Mikey has 2 nunchucks. And Mikey's the one who gets his weapons taken away. That is mind-bogglingly moronic. Okay, let me get this straight, 80s soccer moms. Swords are okay, sides are okay, staffs are okay, but nunchucks are violent and evil. I'm not getting this at all. And plus, what was the freaking point of this? Were they afraid kids were going to pick up nunchucks and hurt other kids with them? Hey, unless there are peddlers that walk around neighborhoods 24/7 handing out free nunchucks, I don't think you parents had anything to worry about. However, the result of this is what really ticks me off. Since Mikey got his chucks taken away, the producers had to give him a crappy grappling hook instead. Like I said, I didn't grow up with this cartoon, but if I did, I probably would have thrown my TV out the window just like all the 80s kids probably did. Number 8. Sarah Palin's reaction to a Family Guy joke. I know I'm not a fan of Family Guy, but when a politician attacks any cartoon, whether I like it or not, then I see it as an act of war. Okay, so in an episode of Family Guy, Chris is dating a girl who has Down syndrome. There's one point where the girl says that her mother is the former governor of Alaska. Well, it's a typical unfunny pop culture joke that Family Guy is known for, but I guess it's harmless enough. Well, that's not what Sarah Palin thought. She thought it was a direct attack on her son Trig, who has Down syndrome, and she was trying to speak up for everybody with Down syndrome by saying that the show is cruel and heartless. I thank God every day that John McCain did not win the 2008 election. Sarah, you are a grade A dolt. For starters, it's Family Guy. It's supposed to offend people. That's kind of the only thing the writers for that show think about. Second, the joke was more of an attack on you than it was on Trig. I love how the character emphasizes the former governor part of the sentence. I mean, come on, Sarah. You quit your duty when you had 2 years left. Who does that? And third, this is the best part. The actress who played the character, Chris Dates, actually has Down syndrome, and she thought the joke was funny. She then went on to say that she doesn't like Sarah trying to be the voice for mentally disabled people, and that she uses her son Trig as a publicity stunt just to get attention, which is more offensive than anything Family Guy could put out. Oh, zing! Take that, you right-wing nutjob! You just got outsmarted by a person with a mental disability, just showing how low your IQ is. Number 7. Parents trying to get Captain Crunch banned. This is one that hits me right at home because Captain Crunch is one of my favorite cereals. Anyway, I don't know much about this, and I only heard about it from a topic on a forum that I used to visit. But there was a case where parents were trying to get Captain Crunch banned because it's the unhealthiest cereal, and the company that makes it was making kids want it. Unfreaking believable. Listen, dipholes, the company is supposed to make your kids want it. You know, that's the source of their income. Plus, why are you soccer moms trying to ruin this for everybody else? Just because you don't like Captain Crunch doesn't mean everybody else doesn't. Some of us like to eat that cereal, you know. The earth revolves around the sun, not you and your kids. Another thing, it may be the unhealthiest cereal, but Captain Crunch is still a better breakfast for your kids than stinking cheese balls. Finally, wake up, parents! You're not supposed to try to ban something you don't want your kids eating. You're supposed to be the parents and tell your kids no. Does that word not exist in your dictionary or something? Thankfully, Quaker Oats, the company that makes Captain Crunch, didn't give in to the parents' demands and has since come out with new varieties for the Captain cereal, like cinnamon bun and chocolate. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to go run to the nearest Schnucks and buy some boxes of that. Chocolate, 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 chocolate. Number 6. Lord Zed being toned down on Power Rangers. Okay, so in the early 90s, Power Rangers was a very popular Saturday morning show that used a lot of footage from a Japanese Sentai show. So, with how popular the show was, the producers felt that they could make their own villain to keep the show fresh. And Lord Zedd was born, and he was awesome! However, the parents didn't agree with our opinions. They felt that Lord Zedd was too evil for a kid's show, so he got toned down in later episodes, and even got to the point where he married Rita Repulsive. My freaking god. These people are getting more stupid as this video continues. Soccermoms, I don't know if you're aware, but Lord Zedd is a freaking villain! He's supposed to be evil, you dunderheads! What the heck did you expect him to do? Bake cupcakes for the Rangers? Hey, Rangers. I know I'm supposed to, destroy you and everything, but I was looking around the lair and I found some cupcake mix, and nobody was using it, so I made you some cupcakes. No, don't worry, they're not poison. They were. I would have given one to Goldar. That useless fool. Plus, what puzzles me is why did they think he was too evil? I mean, the most I saw him do was yell at his minions. I never saw him kill anybody or anything, so what the heck, parents? What do you have against the things in our childhood that are supposed to teach us that evil is bad? Huh? Huh? Number 5. Joe Camel getting banned. Here's one for you 80s kids. Alright, so in the late 80s, the cartoon character Joe Camel was introduced as the mascot for Camel cigarettes. He was a really popular character, but parents complained that he was a plan by the Camel company to try to get kids to smoke cigarettes, so he was banned. Oh, I get it. Just because he's a cartoon character, that automatically means he's supposed to cater to kids. God, I hate you people. Listen, you dodos. Just because a cartoon character is on something doesn't mean kids are going to copy it. I mean, if a cartoon character was a brick, would you expect a kid to throw bricks at other kids? However, the parents actually had research to back them up for this controversy. They claimed that a survey showed that kids were able to identify Joe Camel as much as they could identify Mickey Mouse. Wow, great support. Wait, no it's not! Didn't your parents ever stop to think that the kids could identify Joe because they had parents that smoked Camel cigarettes? And finally, here's a big shocker to you parents. Whether you have a cartoon character or not, kids are going to smoke cigarettes. I don't know why you don't realize that. Well, not all kids are going to smoke, but there's a handful that are going to try it. Me, on the other hand, I never understood what kids' fascination with cigarettes was. Oh my god. That kid is developing several forms of cancer, subtracting years off of his life, has a breath that could kill the dead, is losing lung power, and is wasting his hard-earned allowance money to buy those cigarettes. He is the coolest thing who ever lived, and I want to be just like him. Bottom line, this whole controversy not only insults the tobacco companies, but insults cartoons for being stereotyped as a kid's medium. Number 4, the PTC's war with the WWF SmackDown. Ah, the good old PTC. That company tells parents what they can and can't watch with their kids. How I hate them. Anyway, in late 1999, WWF SmackDown debuted on UPN and brought wrestling to a whole new level by giving wrestling fans that couldn't afford cable something to watch every Thursday night. It was a smash hit, but with all smash hits, there's always parents that are there to ruin them. Anyway, the PTC started a war with SmackDown, attacking it for its violence and raunchy content, and it got to the point where it was begging SmackDown sponsors to stop sponsoring it. Wow, way to contradict your belief of capitalism, you hypocritical conservative crap holes. Okay, that alone sounds really moronic and crazy, but you haven't even heard the stupid part. First of all, this was during WWF's Attitude Era, where it was supposed to be violent and raunchy. And here's the big shocker. SmackDown was actually the tamest of WWF's 2 shows at the time, with Raw being the biggest abuser of the Attitude Era. Okay, you stupid parents, How the heck did you bypass Raw only to attack SmackDown, which is the more family-friendly show? I mean, come on! Raw had Mark Henry getting hanky-panky with a transvestite, Val Venus getting implied castration, and Stone Cold getting crucified by The Undertaker. What the heck did SmackDown have that offended you so much? Triple H killed a rattlesnake? Big Boss Man fed Al Snow's dog to Pepper to Al Snow, and Jeff Jarrett had a mud wrestling contest with two divas? Wow, these are really childhood scarring moments. Mick Foley does a better job of covering this whole controversy in his book, Foley is Good, so if you're interested in this, pick up that book and read it. Bottom line, this whole scuffer just shows that the PTC has no clue about what offends them more. Number 3. The Silent Night, Deadly Night controversy. In 1984, the slasher movie genre was at the height of its popularity, and there was a new one about to come out called Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is about a psychotic man who goes on a killing spree dressed up as Santa Claus. It's a classic of the genre. However, Soccermoms didn't share my opinion. Upon the movie's release, mothers boycotted the movie theaters that were showing the movie because they said that when they saw TV spots for it, their children would run to them crying, saying that they're afraid of Santa Claus. So, they tried to get the movie banned because they felt it was ruining Santa Claus for everybody. My God. Not even movies made for adults are safe from these lunatics. First of all, it's a frickin' horror movie. It's supposed to be scary. If just the TV spots scared your kids, it sounds like the movie's doing a good job. Second of all, just because you don't like the movie doesn't mean that other people don't. Maybe people in 1984 wanted to see that movie. Don't you ever think about other people's needs other than your own? Of course you don't. Third, it's a horror movie made for adults. It's no way meant for kids. If you don't want your kids seeing it, then just don't let them see it. Is that difficult? Finally, get your facts straight. It's not Santa Claus in the movie that kills people. It's a guy dressed up as Santa Claus. All you people had to do was tell your kids that Santa's not a psychotic killer. While I'm on the subject, I find it hypocritical parents attack this movie for its plot while they're perfectly okay about lying to their kids about a jolly fat bearded man who breaks into your house while you sleep and leaves presents for you. Yeah, I wouldn't be creeped out by that. Anyway, the joke's on them because this movie gained a cult following due to them complaining about it. Just goes to show, the more negative attention something gets, the more people are going to want to see it. Number 2. Trying to get Ronald McDonald banned. This is something that happened just a couple of years ago. Parents were complaining that Ronald McDonald was a figure that was making kids want to eat McDonald's, so they tried to get him banned. You people. My God, you people. Okay, I can't speak for every kid, but I didn't eat at McDonald's because of Ronald. I ate there to get the toys and the Happy Meals. Granted, they were cheap, but they were awesome for my young self. Also, why do you people think that your kids rule over you? So what if Ronald supposedly makes your kids want to eat at McDonald's? That doesn't mean you have to drive them there and buy them food! Duh! And finally, what do you people have against Ronald McDonald? I mean, come on! He's one of our icons of pop culture. He's a joyous, fun-loving, optimistic character that just wants to spread smiles wherever he goes. Not to mention, commercials with him from the late 90s and early 2000s are hilarious. Why would you want to take away this childhood-pleasing character when you could take away others? Ah! Don't ever show that again! God! Thankfully, McDonald's didn't listen to the hot air of the soccer moms, and Ronald is still around bringing smiles to every child he meets. Number 1. The Derpy Hooves controversy. No, I'm never going to get over this. Anyway, let me quickly sum this up for those unaware. Derpy Hooves is a fan-named character from the show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, who in one episode was given dialogue and referred to as Derpy as a little treat from the creators to the fans. However, this was so offensive to Soccermoms to the point where the episode got removed from the hub for a while, and Derpy's voice, name, and appearance were all changed or removed. Ow! Oh, spit! Nosebleed! Where do I even begin, folks? First of all, the Soccermoms claim that Derpy is mentally challenged. No, she's not. She's just clumsy, slurred, and cross-eyed. Clumsy, slurred, and cross-eyed living things aren't always mentally challenged, Nimrods! Second, they said she was offensive to mentally challenged people. No, she isn't. I haven't heard one mentally challenged person say that Derpy offended them. You know why? Because she's not offensive! Third, they said her appearance in the show contradicted the show's overall theme of friendship. How? It's not like Rainbow Dash said, look guys, it's that stupid retard Derpy. No! The worst Rainbow Dash said to her was she told her to sit down and do nothing. That's it! Granted, she was sarcastic to her, but that was a joke! Okay, now here's what's really stupid about this whole thing. What are Soccermoms teaching their kids by saying this bullcrap? Are they trying to teach their kids that stupid people don't exist? And if they do, they should be taken somewhere and made smart? That's a really dark and sadistic lesson if you ask me. Plus, Amy Keating-Rogers, the writer of the episode, has a mentally challenged son. If she herself thought the character would be offensive towards her own son, then why the heck would she write in the character's dialogue? Here's my interpretation of Derpy that I don't think the Soccermoms see. In my opinion, Derpy teaches kids that there are people out there that are different from everybody else. However, they don't let that bring them down. No matter what anybody says, they keep pushing forward and doing what they want to do. That alone is one of the best lessons this show could teach. And here's what really burns me up about this. Out of all the cartoons now that you think parents would complain about, this show is the one they choose to hark on. Give me a freaking snap. You couldn't complain about Patrick Star? I think he's more offensive to mentally challenged people than Derpy is. You couldn't complain about Mordecai and Rigby teaching their kids that it's okay to slack off and not do their work. And finally, you couldn't complain that Fred 3 teaches your kids that it's okay to blow up other people's property with a leg of fireworks and get off scot-freaking-free! I don't understand how you people think! So, there are my top 11 moments where I believe Soccermoms were at their worst. You know, I can't sum up Soccermoms, so I'll have this guy do it for me. Stupid! You're so stupid! Anyway, I'm Ben, and I'm signing out. I'm gonna go buy a Derpy plushie and rub it while saying, you're not offensive, you're not offensive.